This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Stanley was happy. His job was to press
And
buttons.
then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Wait, where's the subtitles? Subtitles. There we go. Okay, so Stanley's job is to press whatever button appears on the screen, but apparently those buttons never show today. So he decided to leave his office. And
All
where is
his
everyone?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Where's everyone? Let's go to the meeting room. It's kind of fucked up that every employee is known by a number.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I entered the door on his left. Okay, so here's the meeting room. And it's
Yet
empty.
there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for supporting the other coworker. Using slides to assure employee that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a sleek blue graphic and a blue header. Everyone is unique. You most of all. Number of slides. Charts, slides, and charts and slides. Hate it with charts in the same slide that
Stanley
give the
just
same
stood there
information.
doing nothing at all. He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything.
Oh god.
This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
The boss appreciation minute. Wow. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, you're more inclined toward conflicts unless you're the kind of person who initiates conflict. Why do we hire you? What are your dreams of the future? A boat. Pollution. Clear skin. Metamorphosis. Hope. Less air. Yeah, less air. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less. Do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day with no expectation of promotion recognition. Don't get fired. Yeah, that's how it goes. Alright. Let's go before the narrator gets mad at us.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, let's go to the boss office. The executive bedroom. Oh, come on. Let me go inside. Stay in the broom closet. We'll see, we'll see. For now, let's just do what the narrator tells us to do.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
That's a big
Shocked,
office.
Unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845.
Ah.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
How do we put the number we're not supposed to know? What was it? 28?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Nice.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened page.
Tá pegando fogo, bicho!
Oh, my ears. Hey, Chile, welcome. Thanks for coming. Sickler is just a holiday and you forgot. Maybe. Everyone's gone and I came to work by myself. That would really suck. Whoa, whoa. Where's this? Nah, I don't want to go here. Alright, so let's follow this button.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
So Stanley never questioned his job.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
There's this place called Escape. Now let's go to the Mind Control Facility.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
He was the boss. He was controlling everyone.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true.
Yeah, it can't be true.
Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
No way. Stanley would never.
He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Never.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Stanley would never follow.
But here was the proof.
Blind.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Alright. Stanley's gonna save the world. Let's go, Stanley.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away.
Freedom.
And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And Stanley was happy. That's it. Stanley freed himself of the mind control. By following exactly what someone told him how to do, Stanley freed himself from the controls of someone else. Quite ironic, right? What if Stanley actually tried to think for himself and tried to take his free will back? What would happen? So, let's not follow what the narrator says anymore. Everything he says, let's do otherwise.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Even though Stanley was free, he just sent back here. What's this? Awaiting input. Okay. Hide in the broom closet. Alright, let's do that one then.
When Stanley came to a set of two
went to
open
the left
doors,
door.
he entered the door on his left.
There's nobody in the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's... Oh, Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
He's not having the closet. Yeah, he's not gonna acknowledge us anymore. Alright, let's go. Alright, bye, closet. Alright, so now, instead of going up, let's
Coming
go down.
to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, we didn't.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh my god, I have no
Doors
feet.
close automatically behind him wherever he went.
Oh god.
And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
Let's prove it.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back.
Wake up, Stanley.
The fresh air of a world
Wake up.
outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife
He
and
has
my
a wife.
job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Oh no.
Stanley began screaming.
No!
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
I think Stanley died.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Damn. Poor Stanley. I can't blame Mariella, Tom. Meeting sounded important. And we're back here. So, you might have noticed there is no escape. Wait.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
What?
What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
That was quick. Does that count as a speed run? Okay.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
True, true. But it's terrifying to everyone else, isn't it?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's go on the right this time.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, let's admire it.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Beautiful, beautiful room.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Very worth it.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
This is why everyone left, because I liked this room too much.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Did he though? Maybe I just want to leave in this room. Maybe that's what will make Stanley really happy. Just stay in this room forever. I probably should go.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Fine.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
There we go, we're back on track.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
So I guess we can't go inside the broom closet anymore. He closed it. Oh well.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What is that painting? Business strategy? Putting a gun to a panda's head? What a fucking business strategy is that? Look at that. Time magazine is just a clock. That's fitting. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, so in case you noticed, we're not going anywhere. Yep, exactly the same spot. That's our boss. I am the most expensive boss. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Stanley simply began entering random codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be another story entirely. But no, this is what he was going to do instead. Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Two, 8, 4, 5. Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And
Magical.
Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
He got tired of waiting for me to put the number. Alright. So what's in there? Sewage. I can't read that. Something by Cloud Monet. Carte Blanche. Alright, so there was something back here, I think. Like very dark. No? Nothing. Okay, that's nothing. So you might have noticed, even though we did escape once, we didn't actually escape. And there was this part on the wall down here that's written escape. So you might want to check that out. See if we can actually escape.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, so let's try to actually escape this time.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Well, that's the way to escape.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Alright, here you go, boys. Escape. That doesn't look like escape.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Okay. What?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
This might be the demo.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Damn. Nature paintings. Stanley's computer. The office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path from Stanley's office to the 2 doors was the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout the development. Through the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. And here's something interesting about this layout. If you look here, it kind of looks like there's a way out. And maybe the way out's actually there somewhere. So the 2 doors was the very first complete piece of Stanley Parable's design. Once this one were created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it. Exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Ah. Corridor. The pacing of this opening section was important to get it right. This corridor is being moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the 2 doors in a good time. Some filing cabinets. Computers. A desk. Office. Button sounds. A selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Ah. Beautiful. I hear the credits. There's a clock. Boss office. Screens from development of boss office. Oh, that was very plain. Employee lounge, yes, our favorite place. Mind control facility. Escape. Early version of the underground part of the game. Yeah, the escape was pretty bigger. What's this? Narration outtakes. Kevin Briding, the voice of the narrator, recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that are not used in the final game.
Now look closely, Stanley. See how it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good or bad game design.
He's talking about bad game design.
Probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going
Interesting. Freedom Ending was the very first incarnation of Freedom Ending. Freedom. What is this? This is spoilers. Freedom Ending. The Count Room. This kind of looks like Portal. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office. Over time, the first was created in November 2011, second March 2012, and the third in February 2013. I don't see a lot of improvement. I mean, he got a bigger desk. And here he had an extra computer, but now it's gone. Sorry. Okay. What's this? Obey, disobey. Disobey? Okay. Maintenance layout. The Zending model. Zending went through many iterations. This one represents the further version of the ending, and we thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again. Great. Very good. You know, that actually happens in software development. I had a project and we spent months discussing this thing. And then everyone was happy. Okay, this is what we want. Are you sure of it? Yes, we're sure of it. Alright, so here go I. Develop the whole thing. Do all the changes. Make everything exactly the way they want it. Down to the color of the button. And then try to deliver. And then we delivered. And in the day they delivered, the first thing they do, they open it and say, wait, we didn't think about this one thing. I don't like it anymore. I want the old one back. And that actually happened. And I was very mad.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
What? Who is this lady?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
But listen to me.
Oh,
you
no.
can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time
Wow. So, guess the only real choice we have in this game is to stop playing? Shame. Where did the game go? Okay. And we're back here. Alright, so there was something. Here. Where is it? This achievement is counted as an achievement, and it says off. And apparently there's somewhere in the options where you can turn that achievement on. Here, achievement disabled. We enable it. There, the achievement is on. But that's how you get that achievement. You have to turn it on. Wait.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's try the speed run now then. And we have already lost enough time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I don't have
The
to
moment
think.
he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed
God damn
for a
it.
few moments
Alright, now
with
speed
some
run.
calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Alright, fine. We're calmed down. Alright, so going back to escape, we just
Stanley
need to
walked
sink.
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
There's something else we can do here.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Rape. So where is the Stanley's monitor? 427? 427, there. Yeah, it's just a little room.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
What if instead Stanley decided he's gonna be the new master? But it has two buttons there. You can turn it off and turn it back on. Let's turn it back on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without
Self-destruction
proper
system,
DNA
let's go.
identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode.
Nuclear
eliminating
detonators.
the entire complex.
Oh yeah.
How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're going to die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious
Last part
additional
of
seconds,
this
Stanley.
there's a bunch of
Time
buttons
doesn't
and
grow on
controls and stuff. It makes you
dear me,
think you
what's the
can do
matter,
anything,
Stanley?
but you can't.
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right
There's
now?
nothing to do.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer
Yeah.
that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
And Stanley died again. So yeah, there was nothing you could do there. You just explode and die. Alright, we're back here.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Yeah.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, bathroom's open now. Yeah, look at this what's this? I got the feeling money's for stealing. Not yours, of course. Sergeant, that's a lovely purse. What? Stream bedrooms, yeah. Look at the size of the windows this bathroom. You can take a shit and look at the road fucking city from here. That's amazing. I love this bathroom. Look at this. It's bigger than my room. Oh yeah. It already has air conditioning either. Alright. I don't know what these are.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Alright. He's tired of this already. I think there's nothing else down here. I don't know.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, okay. I think it's just gonna be the same.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this
Alright, we did it. We're free again.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand,
But to let
go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation. the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
And Stanley was happy.
Stanley was happy.
Yes. Happiness. Okay. So now I just need to wait for an opportunity for the speed run. Oh, here it is. Alright.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
So I would just run to the end and see. We got the speed run. Don't stop running.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Go, 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 go.
Here's the door, just go.
Yes. He's tired of the door.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yes, yes, yes.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Here's the proof.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided...
Let's go, let's go. Let's go!
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Yes, I'm trying to. Yes, there
Stanley
you go.
felt the
Speed
cool
run.
breeze upon his skin.
Oh yeah. Under 4 minutes and 22 seconds.
The feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen.
Yes.
And Stanley
Was
happy.
Okay, so the next one's gonna be kind of weird. And of course that starts with the door.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Wait.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. Guess we only need one more.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, so let's go to the right. It's gonna be mad.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Yes.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Not really, no.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not lie. If you're lying, right now, stop. Ah, this is new. Do not jump from the cargo lift when it's in motion. Will cause that. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, 1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, 5,000 on top of that. Okay.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
That's my favorite one. Okay. Wait. Aha. Oh. What did we do? Welcome to heaven. Oh. That's loud as hell. So Stanley's heaven is just a bunch of buttons for him to press. I mean, I guess his whole life is about pressing buttons, isn't it? This would be heaven for him. And what's more, there's no narrator telling him what to do. So I guess this is how Stanley really is happy. There's something in this game. Hold on. That doesn't work. Console. Okay. Yep, can't turn on the console. I remember there's a way to turn on the console, and then you try to cheat, and the game gets mad at you for that. Yeah, there's nothing here, it's just heaven, I guess. Let's try to get the console running. Console. Let's try this. Yes. Nope, doesn't show. Shame.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yes, yes, yes. Nope.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I don't think so.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yes.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a
Danger
chance.
everywhere.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Fuck you, narrator.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Yeah, everything looks kind of broken.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version.
Yes.
Would you say that the game
No.
benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take
see.
a look.
Yeah, where? Oh. The worldwide leaderboard. Why, Winnie? That's a lot of doors opened. Did you know 21.3% of players skip the intro sequence Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door? Wow, I'm 9,000. Friends list is empty. Yeah, that sounds about right. A dead rat is offline is better than me. How long does it take you to get to the correct door? Okay. Wow. Yeah, they suck at this game.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
I say no.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on.
I guess it doesn't
and
give
now
a shit
would be
anymore.
a lovely opportunity to give it some play testing. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay. Guess we're playing a new game now.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice.
Didn't they make a
But of
multiplayer
course,
game of
the
this?
message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
4 hours?
Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Sure. So there's this game called Who's Your Daddy? Which is basically you trying to save a baby, where the baby tries to kill himself. So if the baby kills himself, he wins. I think this is like the first version of the game. God, it's so loud. Yeah, goodbye, baby.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's
Yes.
see. What
Yes.
do we have here?
Yes. I love this part.
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Hey,
Well,
Minecraft
Stanley, is
boys.
this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley.
Where's
Will
my
it
diamonds?
ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley.
Beautiful.
Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable. Isn't it grand?
Yes.
Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond.
Oh, here we go.
Diamond
Now we're
everything.
talking.
Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Yes. Let's go mining for diamonds, boy. Ah, now we're talking. Now this is a
Oh
game.
my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light? Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for
Diamonds.
something more narrow and
No.
linear.
Let me open.
Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Hey, where's my diamonds? God damn it. Oh, hell yeah.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Yes. Oh, this game is amazing.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Critical thinking, Stanley's forte. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, we solved the puzzle.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty.
Wait.
I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the...
Rude! I was playing that! Oh no. This place is kind of spooky. Yes. Okay. What?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay, then. I guess that's the only time when Stanley really becomes free. Okay.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
What? What's this supposed to mean? Looks the same to me.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door and this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, yes.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Alright, so we're back here. If you remember, you kind of interrupted him when he was saying something, so let's let him finish
Look,
this
Stanley,
time.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Oh?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who's waiting? What's happening?
That's her, Stanley.
What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go.
Can't move.
All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about...
You're damn.
Oh.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
True.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Fuck you, narrator.
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh. Okay. Yes, I can't really go through that well. My wife.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Wait, what? Oh no. I want to press T on my keyboard. Fine, T.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Yeah, I've literally Stanley. I have to do what he tells me to.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Does anyone ever choose this life?
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice.
Choice.
It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Press H to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through
What?
this fantasy world, he began to fill it with
Where's
many
my dinner?
possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Press K to tell your life you love her.
But there is no answer.
Where's my life?
How could
Yo!
it possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Press O to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Press K to be at your work in the morning. Q. Alright. But here's the thing. He told me not to press it. If I don't press it, I'm doing what he wants. But if I press it, I'm also doing what he wants. Because he just wants to prove the point that I'm going to press it either way. So, there's really no winning this game. Alright, just press it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press E to question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Please die.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay. You guys I die. Where's Stanley? And we're back here. What is else left
All of
for
his
me to do?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Wait, what's this noise? You hear like a noise? No, there was something you could do.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
There was something you could do. I think it depends on the numbers here. Let's keep track of the numbers here. 31 to 36. What is that noise?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes, let's admire it.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man
love a room?
love a room? I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love.
I'll let you guys watch this room and I'll get some drink and be right back.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, Here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it. At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
I'm back. Do you guys watch The Room? Do you guys enjoy watching The Room?
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Now, there's one thing we can try here. We did not go through the red
Stanley,
door.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Alright, so let's follow the red door, see what happens. I'm gonna give him a chance now.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
That's quite pretty, yeah? What's that supposed to look like? So if we just stay here, the narrator will finally be happy. Will that make us happy? Will that make Stanley happy? But is there really such a thing as happiness? Isn't the tired pursuit of happiness the only reason we have our life? If we ever achieve happiness, what is the purpose of having life if we have nothing left to pursue? Therefore, no, happiness can never be achieved. Happiness is just an objective for you to pursue. Goodbye, narrator.
No, wait. Where are you going? Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
How about that? Fuck you.
No!
Oh, it's alive.
Thank God. No. No, no, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me?
Fine.
Yes, perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about. I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
Yeah, but I don't feel like we're happy here either.
No, perhaps not. My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Yes.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Yep. That's already back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
So what else is there for
When
us
Stanley
to do?
came to a set of 2 open doors, this
I
was not
know.
the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Okay.
The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic. Like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made him smile.
What?
At last, proof that he was human.
I want to bleed.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Alright, so if we take this door...
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yeah, if we go there, we go back to the happy ending. But what is this?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
And now, no matter what we do, we're lost.
Oh, no, it's to the right. My
Bitch!
mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
You notice the
It's
lift
clearly...
is missing?
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Where'd the lift go?
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Okay.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
He started the game for me. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh. Alright. Adventure time. Inner guilt. Everyone knows what you did. They're just holding back to let you torture yourself. Good.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Alright, here goes restarting again. Oh well.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
And now we have a lot of options. Okay.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
You guys notice what's going on here? Right, so 1 to the right, 2 to the right, 3 to the right, 4 to the right.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Hey!
Congratulations!
I win!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
I guess we win.
No. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Hey.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Fuck. Oh, look at this. There's a line.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
There we go. Now I don't get lost. Perfect. Let's follow the line. Wait, was this door ever open?
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Alright. Just follow the line.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Yeah, I have no
You know
idea.
what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
What? That's so loud. Make it stop. Please.
Cut the music. Go
Okay,
back
thank
and
you.
look at that fern.
What?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Really?
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Okay.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Yeah, I think the line lied to us. Ah, there you go.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Are we still following the line?
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay. That is out of fucks to give.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Goddamn line. Get off my adventure. Alright, it's gone now. Bye, line.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin.
What?
So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come,
Yes,
Stanley.
another victory for logic.
Destiny awaits.
The confusing ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So...
In the end, even the narrator is also opponent.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
And there's go. So, is this an actual restart now or not?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could
Looks
it mean?
like it.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Looks normal
When
so far.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a
Everything looks
single
fine.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Alright.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Okay, so guys, did we actually restart this time? Shame. It's already gone now. I don't know if there's anything else left.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Alright, so I guess this is just a normal ending.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
Yeah, okay.
Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine... blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Okay.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
So I honestly don't know what else there is to do with this game. I'm sure there is a lot of things to do, so let's just go with him. See what else there is. If you know anything, Keanu, anything to try, let me know.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Alright,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
fuck off. Full screen. Alright. Stanley Parable endings. Can't type. Endings. Oh, look at this. Oh, this is beautiful. Hold on. Can I full screen this? Can you get the fuck off here? Thank you. Alright. So this is the start. If I type face punch, something happens. Really? Alright, let's try that.
Excellent. And if he just stays right where he is, I'm sure
What
he'll
the
keep
hell?
up that good momentum. Let's observe the genius at work.
Okay. So that is the thing that happened. Alright, what else is there to do? Waiting input heaven. Okay, I did that. Sometimes the office is blue, so you open the door to the whiteboard. I never seen that one. Ah, here we go. We need to change the launch options of the game to get the consoles to work. There we go. That's the one we were trying to do. Let's try to do that. Worst thing. This one should be good. Stanley Parable. Properties. Console. Alright, let's try this. Alright, so the console's there. Okay. Now we're gonna try to turn on server shit, see what the narrator thinks about that. So, server sheets 1.
Stanley, this is me being serious. In fact, this is my serious room. It's where I come to be serious. That table is the most serious table I could find. I looked at many, many tables, hundreds of tables. It's possible I looked at over 1,000 tables. I honestly don't know. The specific number isn't as important as the understanding that of all tables I looked at, this one is the most serious. I relate this story to impress upon you the extent to which this is the most serious room I have, which is why I brought you here. You just tried to activate server cheats, which of course runs the risk of breaking the entire game. You've got no respect for the strict order of scripted narrative events, and I just can't have that. It's time to get serious, Stanley. No jokes, no games. Outside of this room, I might be more tolerant of those things, but now we're in the room. Which is why I'm subjecting you to the most serious punishment I can think of. 100 billion trillion years standing here in the serious room. Perhaps after that, we can talk about the severity of your actions and whether you've learned anything. But until then, serious room, go.
Ah, that sounded very serious. Yeah, I can't leave the serious room. This is Facebook prison for trying to enable cheats. I'm sorry, narrator. Can I just start over? Okay.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Oh, that computer looks different. Alright, so what else is there for us to do? Let's see. Start. We close the door, we get reluctant. We did this. The window at 434. Climb out. Ah. Yes. How do I climb out the window? Let's try that. Where's 434? Here. Oh, he can't jump.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
How can we climb the window if you can jump? Alright, let's go back to the flow chart. Let's see. Fuck you. Window. To get on top of the desk on the left with the square computer, and the first office, then leave. Get on the top of the desk on the left with the square computer. The first office, then leave through the window. It's possible by walking up the chair and continuing on top of it. You then crouch and leave through the window. Okay. Let's try that.
It's part of a game. He likes to see how long he can go.
Shut up, narrator. Well.
He'll keep up that good momentum. Let's observe the genius at work.
Ah, here we go. Ah, almost. Ah, did it. Not sure what I did, but I did it.
Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer?
Yes.
Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Wow. That's kind of harsh. I leave now? No? Alright. Well, let's do it again now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Wait, can I not? Oh, there we go. Here we go again. Hey.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd
Yes,
broken the
yes,
map
yes.
until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible
God, no.
and see how long you can maintain.
Oh, that's not so bad.
There once was a man named Stanley,
Wait.
who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
What the hell? I guess this is it for this one. Alright, so what else is there for us to do? I guess there can't be that much. Still haven't seen the blue offs.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
Why do you say this is not the right office? It says that. It's kinda confusing. It's like something's about to happen. What about all this noise? Alright, let's go back to the chart. Okay. Where's the chart? Here. But sometimes you got a blue offs, and then you open the door to the whiteboard. I did not see this happen. Alright, we did this. The door choice. Left the broom closet, we did that. Staircase down, he went insane. Boss. Escape pod. Wait, escape pod? What is this? Alright, let's try this. I don't know what that is.
Game. He likes to see how long he can go without...
Hold on. Sorry.
momentum. Let's observe the genius at work.
Alright, whatever. Wish I knew what that noise was. Kinda unsettling.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office.
Hey, it's open again.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. That noise is still going on. It's freaking me out.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley...
Alright, this is not what we want. Is this blue for you? I don't think so. Wait, this looks different. Oh, it's
When
this.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes, yes.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Right, so the door closed. Can go back out.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again...
I don't know what it's supposed to do here. Ah, there's a phone ring.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
What?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, so instead of going inside the boss room, let's just go back downstairs after
Yet there
we're
was
done.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, so let's not go inside, let's go down. No, this is not what we want. I think I might have messed up here. No. No. Is the red light at the bottom actually a button? I think it's just the tail lights of a car. Alright, let's finish this once. Because it actually reset.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone? This was too... Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay. Can I try to go away? No? Yeah, I don't think that's it. Okay. There should be something if I don't press the light bulb button. So let's try that.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Alright, so let's not press this button and see what happens. Just stay here for a while. Contemplating life and the absence of happiness. Quite dark. I mean, this spot is not dark, but everything else is. How long are we supposed to wait? Or did I already fuck up? Climb the chair and jump off. We did that just ago. Let's try here. I don't think we can climb this chair. Oh. Hold on. Okay. Wow. I didn't know I could do that, but doesn't seem like we accomplished anything. The narrator is not talking to us. I guess we just broke. Yes, we actually broke it. Amazing. Alright, restart. Good job, Poison. You broke the game that's supposed to be unbreakable. Let me see what else we can do. Parable. Secret disco. Go straight to the monitor room. Press every button. However, after pressing the last one, do not go on the elevator. What? Go straight into the monitor room. Press every button, however, after pressing the last one, do not go in the elevator. Wait for 60 seconds and the doors will reopen. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
You surprise. Alright, let's try the disco again.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Alright, so now get into the
This
elevator.
mind control facility
And wait
it was
60
too
seconds.
horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Let's go back to the light when this opens. There we go. Holy shit. This is painful to look at. I kinda regret it now. Let's just finish it. Okay.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own
Yes.
life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
Yes,
Controls
yes.
labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this... blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Alright. By the way, Keanu's still there. So, just googled everything. And apparently there's nothing happens if you wait 20 minutes at the demo. So, sorry to disappoint. Let's try to skateboard again. It's the only one I still haven't gotten. But...
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work.
That's a lot of boxes.
Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Okay. Guess we're getting all the boxes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here
Yes,
under.
yes, yes.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Right, so the trick here, apparently, is to start entering the office and then go away. Because the doors are going to close in your face. And apparently, the narrator gets stuck inside. Stanley is free. But if I remember, if I stand here a little while, I should do something. Let's just wait on here for a while. No, nothing. Alright. That doesn't work.
Here's the door, just go.
Damn it. Alright, let's try again.
All of his coats
Oh look,
were gone.
all the boxes
What
are
could
here.
it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That's a lot of boxes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Alright, maybe this is the one. No, it doesn't work.
Here's the door.
Ah, I did it. Nice. Alright. This is uncharted territory now. I don't know what this leads to. There's no more narrator. He's stuck inside the door. More boxes. Aha! This door is new. You are now leaving. Hell yeah. Escape pod bay, floor 760. Alright. I guess we finally found the exit. Keep going up, Stanley. You can do it, Stanley. We're almost there. Let's keep on going up. No one controls you now. Technically, not I controlling him. Does that mean I am free? Or does that mean neither of us is free? Alright, escape pod launch. Here we go. It's kind of dark in here. Oh. Is this escape? Did we escape? Wait. We didn't even escape. Rigged. Wow, that was disappointing. Alright, let's see if there's anything else we missed. Alright, so what else could we have done? Oh wait. So we did heaven. We did not do the whiteboard. It says sometimes the blue office. I never seen any blue office. Maybe we just restart until we find the blue office. Can try that. I did the serious room. We did the reluctant. We did the song and the voiceover. We did the boom. Did you get insane? We just did the escape pod. What is this elevator? Overton third? I think this is just like says like there's the door, go. So I don't have to bother with the keypad. Disco, we did the museum, we did the bomb, we did the life. What is this? Confusion. Alright, we had unplugged the phone, we did not do this. We did space. I'm not gonna play the babe ending for 4 hours. No way. We can Google this one. Actually, let's do that. Art.
Okay.
No, fuck you. I just want to see and I don't want to see your face. There we
Hey,
go.
I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting.
That's not what I
You
want.
wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
The art end. Why is the quality so bad?
Chosen world, don't let me stop you. You see that? No time to waste when there is such a meaningful game to be played.
What?
Bonne chance, mon ami. Of life.
This is chaos. Ah, he's cheating. Oh,
I know we said this would go on for 4 hours, but what if I never stop? Think about it. You could just keep going forever. Visitors would come from around the world to see the man who never stopped pushing the buttons. You would be famous. That's what you've always wanted, right? To be famous. That and the surging power of artistic beauty to flow through you for all of eternity. You could have both of these things. We'll talk about it when we get there.
wow.
Have we really been doing this for over 3.5 hours? Goodness, how time flies. Wouldn't you say it's fun? Oh no, you don't have to answer that. I understand you're quite busy. Just keep at it. Almost there.
Hey, he's almost there.
Nearly there, Stanley. Art itself is about to burrow into your skull. Aren't you excited for spiritual?
Brasil!
Oneness with the beauty and essence of all beings? Just a few seconds.
Kijk, Lies, obrigado pelo lurk. Ó. Resolve suas fitas aí. Precisa de alguma ajuda também. What? So you play that shit for 4 hours and this is what you get? This text you can't even read right? Or is my eye broken?
Give your meat a good old rub. Yeah, boy.
Hey, thanks for the sub. Thanks, Keanu. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm glad I never tried this. Oh, it says I love you. Never mind. Maybe I'm not glad I not try it. So that's what happens if you play the baby game for 4 hours. That's fucked up. Alright, so the only thing we didn't try was this. Unplug the phone. I think we did everything else except this art one we just watched. So let's go unplug the phone. If I just... Yes. There we go. Let's go unplug the phone.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
Did
could
I
it
do the
mean?
true end? Is
Stanley
there a
decided
true end
to
for
go to
this
the
game?
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Is that the
memo.
only true end of this game is when you stop playing? With the credits? Am I doing it now? I have no idea, man.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Unplugging the phone is the true ending, really. I had no idea.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Alright.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. Oh, no, you can't... Did you just unplug the phone?
Yes, I did.
That wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner?
What?
You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
What?
I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Oh, no.
Please observe this helpful
No,
instructional video.
no instructional video. Oh, no.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could spend years helping improve the quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations. Or he could systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house.
Oh.
Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Okay. My goodness. It's almost 4:20. I gotta go.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day.
8 choices per
Do
day?
you make more than 8? Less?
Yeah, probably less.
And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Wow.
Ah,
You have my
welcome
choices
back.
are meaningless.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Yeah, I think we broke the game again. It's starting to look like in the demo. Maybe this is what the demo was about. Maybe this is the demo. Oh, there's safety
Now
now.
that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the
Yes.
platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all.
Safety.
We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Alright, sounds good. Let's go home.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I think regardless of which one I take, we're fucked. I'll take on the right anyway.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late. Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to
This
live
chart
with it
showing
forever.
up.
Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I...
I feel like every time the
No, I
shares
have
are a
to.
bit different.
I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
That it? Did we win? Oh, that doesn't look good.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard.
Oh.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Alright. Let's give him a chance.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Is this room supposed to be green?
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Hi? Nope, can't speak. Night Shark 155?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver.
Night Shark 115. Open. Sesame. Jumanji.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I don't have a mouth.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Wait. Stanley? Stanley?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
I guess this actually is the actual end. Stanley just refused to make a choice. Alright, so this is something about having a blue office. I haven't seen it yet. Let's restart and try to get a blue office. This doesn't look blue. Nope. Hold on. Let's. Alright, so sometimes blue office open door, whiteboard. Wait. Parable. Blue office. Whiteboard ending. Whiteboard ending occurs when the game restarts and the office is bluish. Then you are able to open room 426. Okay. I mean, sounds straightforward enough.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Brasil!
Ah, meus ouvidos, ó, Canelson. Bem-vindo. E aí, Canelson, beleza? Você chegou bem no final, cara.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave.
A gente fez quase tudo nesse jogo agora. Mas eu tenho mais uma coisa pra mostrar. Só tem que primeiro achar a porta azul.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Não.
All of his
Não. Tá, vou tentar mais duas
Stanley knew
vezes. Seus ouvidos também. Desculpa por isso. Ó, agora tá azul.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Ah, whiteboard ending. Console. Dark. Dark. Hidden. Não aconteceu nada. Ah. Ó. Provavelmente tem um corno na sua rua e sua net está pedindo arrego. Que tristeza. Bom, a gente conseguiu o melhor final do jogo então. Alright. This game's over.